府国中央人民政府今天成立了。
但是你们能不能？
刚才也问我啊，我可以回半点去，可有奉告，我也不高兴。
哎，什么叫中国共产党啊？党叫干啥就干啥。
黑夜即将到来，一定要做好准备。
是。
干死共产党！不干死共产党，绝不罢休！
消灭中共是正义的需要。
Hello everyone, I'm true007, I'm your co-host. We have also Chris as well. Chris, please say hello to everyone.
Hi everyone, and hi Mr. 007. I'm happy to be on the show again tonight. Thank you.
Yes. You know, recently Miss Tulsi Gabbard's declassification prior to leaving the office, which made big news, and have validated the credibility of the intelligence released through the whistleblowers movements. This is very significant, because we should also have Steve K. Bannon and Peter Lavallo repeatedly said, Fauci lied, okay? American died, which now has been officially, okay, through the intelligence information, by making this information public through official channels. It has now been formalized in writing, recognized as intelligence, okay, elevate to the matter of national security, and also recorded as part of the history as well. You know, how great is this? So we're going to invite Chris to give us a sort of in-depth brief about what the situation is and how the intelligence has impact now, okay, the humanity in the way that the accountability of the CCP and also Fauci and his allies as well. Back to you, Chris, please.
So do we start the video or?
Yeah. Before we start, Flower, can you please play a video by our design, please? The first video.
The COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when under oath he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins, once again revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. Now, we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized, self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
Okay, as we see that this information is so serious, I think we had about 3-4 years lockdowns. The economy suffered. So many people lost their jobs. Not to mention, the fatal effects, side effects of the COVID-19 jabs. Okay, followed by the CCP's release of the COVID virus. So, Chris, what do you take about this is so important information from U.S. intelligence director to see Gabbard? Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So on June 18th, 2026, Ms. Tulsi Gabbard released a large volume of declassified documents related to the origin of COVID-19. When Dr. Fauci testified under oath before Congress in 2024, he stated that he had not discussed matters related to the origins of COVID with the intelligence community, such as the FBI or CIA. However, the declassified documents show that Fauci actually participated multiple times in intelligence community briefings, provided opinions, and recommended experts. A clear contradiction with his sworn testimony. As early as February 3rd to 4th, 2020, when the outbreak in China had only just begun, and global understanding of the virus was extremely limited. Agencies, including the National Academies of Science, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, and the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases had already convened meetings to seriously discuss the virus origins. The intelligence community was asked only to listen in as observers. Fauci had also recommended specific experts to the intelligence community for the origins investigation. The first point of consensus at the meeting was, it is not a bioweapon. This was done to set the narrative, control the direction of public opinion, and mislead the intelligence community. Meeting participants, including Fauci from NIAID, Peter Daszak from Eco Health Alliance, Ralph Barrick from the University of North Carolina, among others. Additionally, on June 4th, 2021, intelligence officials formally briefed Dr. Fauci on the analysis of COVID-19 origins. Dr. Fauci repeatedly stated in public and before Congress that the NIH did not fund gain-of-function research. However, the documents show that the funds did in fact flow to the Wuhan Institute of Virology for high-risk coronavirus experiments, and that Fauci himself approved the relevant decisions. These constitute misleading Congress. And if you open the document 1 on page 26 and 57 to 59 of the document, Fauci admitted during a congressional budget hearing that approximately $600,000 in NIH funding was channeled through Eco Health Alliance to the Wuhan Institute of Virology for bat coronavirus research. According to the content of Senator Rampol's email dated December 12th, 2023. Found in the documents, we can see that there was indeed an organized cover-up operation. In early 2020, Fauci visited the CIA. Out of 7 CIA scientists, 6 believed that the virus originated from a laboratory, while only 1 held a different view. However, these conclusions was later overruled by their superiors. We need to know whether Anthony Fauci influenced those CIA superiors. We also need to know how frequently Fauci visited the CIA and what he did there. Fauci was not recorded in the visitor logs, yet he frequently appeared at the CIA. Fauci is not a scientist specializing in cancer treatment. He also controls a large amount of funding related to biological weapons. Fauci and his associates were unwilling to disclose any such information to members of Congress. They hold weekly meetings to discuss concerns regarding dangerous dual-use research and gain-of-function research. However, despite Congress requesting this information for more than 3 years, none of the contents of these meetings have been made public to lawmakers. And also on the page 79 and 80 of the document, 4 key terms are mentioned. Mr. Steve Bannon, the Rule of Law Society, the Rule of Law Foundation, and Guo Wengui, along with a research report. The report claims that the coronavirus was manufactured in a laboratory in China and originated from experiments being conducted at the Wuhan P4 laboratory at the time. It states that certain genes of SARS-CoV-2 are similar to bad coronaviruses discovered by Chinese military laboratories. This report debunked Fauci's lies and also revealed key truths about the origin of the CCP virus. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chris, for the information. Very informative. So we know basically Fauci lied, and the American died, and the rest of the world, those are a lot of tens of millions of people died as well. And that's the first virus, but then a few months later, then the jabs, the COVID-19 vaccination, that's another big lies. Okay, it's another big thing that yet I think the intelligence probably, I hope they are releasing that out lately as well. But you know, according to Miles Gore's information, that the virus released by Wuhan P4 lab from the CCP, the laboratory, is only like a bullets. You know what followed the bullets is what? It's basically a nuclear weapon, a cannon. That is that, yeah, you got this virus, right? That's the COVID-19, but we have the vaccination for control the virus. But what proved is that so many people have 1, 2, or 3 shots. They either died suddenly, okay, or died with terrible cancer and many different mental, physical, including muscular circulation system and the nervous system dysfunctions rapidly, you know, come to the area of, I guess, if they aging so fast or they get so sick, which they never had those base problems. So, and also the deaths of birth defects is also rise. I mean, if you look at the last 5 years, population growth, and the world population is rapidly shrinking. But with what? With the coronavirus and then the continued vaccination as well. So I think the CCP gotta be held accountable from the beginning. Okay, that's also very, very sure we are of. So let's have a look at what Peter Navarro in the Fox News have to say. Flower, please play that video.
And the American people need to decanonize St. Fauci. What we know very clearly is that Fauci played God. He basically gave money to the Wuhan lab for the express purpose of using gain-of-function research to create a deadly virus for the purpose of then creating vaccines to kill the virus. How'd that go, Anthony? And then, when that thing leaked from the lab, he conducted a misinformation campaign using some of the most prestigious academics in the world to insist that it wasn't from the lab, it was the zoonotic theory, from nature. And the biggest lie of omission was the fact that he funded the virus to begin with. 1 million Americans died, millions worldwide. He needs to be held accountable. But you know, Maria, and this is where you're exempt from this, the media had a lot to do with canonizing Fauci because they had an agenda back at the time. They knew that if Donald Trump could be blamed for that virus rather than China, it would change the political landscape entirely. So I thank you. I thank the Washington Times for publishing the piece. I thank Tulsi Gabbard for getting out there. But Congress, get off your ass and subpoena not just him, but all the people who were involved in this, because this guy, blood on his hands. Fauci lied. Americans died. I said it back then. I'll say it right here. And this story needs to get out so that it doesn't happen again.
Well, indeed, there was a very, a statement. There was a Fauci lied and Fauci lied, the American died. And our whistleblowers movements, throughout the new federal state of China, we've been continuously, marching on the street and broadcasting that. But of course, I mean, those times, no one taking care of us, talking about we are conspiracy theorists. But now the Tulsi got the documentation released from the U.S. intelligence community, which confirmed, definitely that the Fauci lied. Millions of Americans died. Then not to about hundreds of millions Chinese people died as well. So serious situation, and but you will wonder what you were wondering about why Fauci does that. Beside just the deep state globalist agenda, depopulation program, as Fauci has something to do with with the Wuhan P4 labs director Wang Yanyi. Yes, I think we'd like to hear what Miles Gore has been disclosed that in the very early stage when the COVID-19 and the jabs with the virus was, traveling throughout, like a pandemic throughout China. Also, a lot of people died in Wuhan. So, and recently Trump said when the virus gets released, the U.S. intelligence through global citizen from the space above, they have saw so many body bags in the Wuhan on the street. At President Trump said many times, which confirms through that military intelligence confirms during the early stage Wuhan lab, when they released the virus into the rest of the world by shut down all the domestic traveling plan, but release only Wuhan to fly to the rest of the world, the capitals like New York, for example, and Houston, Tokyo, London, okay, Germany, you name it. So I think I like to, Flower, if you can show that video, the last video, okay, about what Mao said, about how Fu Qi won, and the Wang Yanyi, the director of Wuhan People Lab. Then that will give you our audience, see how Mao said, follow the money, okay, follow the PP, and follow the new Federal State of China intelligence. Please.
福奇和武汉 P4 实验所的这个王延义，还有比他大10几岁的王延义老公，是什么样的三角恋关系呢？王延义的老公和王延义在北大，为什么当时他就是北京大学啊以国家安全委员会筹备委员会的成员呢？实际上美国不用那么大动静，花那么多成本干啥呢？把福奇过去怎么认识王延义的，认不认识王延义，跟王延义和她老公有没有打过交道，跟王延义有没有男女关系，跟王延义有没有钱的关系，那这不就完了吗？把他的email和王延义在南卡罗纳州上学的时候有没有来往，人身来往、通信来往、金钱来往，包括性来往，就这么简单呢。这就搞清楚了啊！如果他掩藏了这个事实，那你为什么隐藏？如果没有隐藏，哎，那把你们的通信亮出来。有人私下见过面吗？在这个华盛顿什么4季酒店开过房吗？文华酒店开过房吗？去过南卡罗纳州见面吗？在洛杉矶见过面吗？去过Palm Beach吗？这些都可以查嘛，多简单的事啊！啊，事关世界人的生死啊，这不是你俩的事儿啊！你俩要有这个约炮的行为的话，那就泡死了几百万、几千万人，甚至更多人啊！
Mao said the last sentence, if you both hooked up, okay, then you have blown millions of people's life away, okay. So this is very serious. I'm sure that according to you know, over the last 9 years, Mao scores every broadcasting what he have predicted or have said, it sort of become true until now. Okay, so I'm sure that's what the strategy of follow the PP, follow the money, and then follow the new Federal Reserve China. So, Chris, back to you. What's your reflection on that?
I remember that back in 2020.
Yeah.
The whistleblower movement, and also the Mr. Moscow already warned the world about CCP lied, and Chinese people died. Also, CCP lied, American people died. But during that time, not many people believed it. But in the end, it turns out that Mr. Moscow said was true.
Absolutely.
And then during that time, if the intelligence community and also government of this world from different countries can listen more carefully and closely to Mr. Moscow's suggestions, I think this disaster could be avoided. But anyway, it's not avoided. So we need to hold these people who violate laws and who conduct anti-human
genocide.
Yeah, should be held accountable. It's been 5 years, and some people like me have been waiting this for so long. But I believe that next year could be the time to arrest them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. You notice the time the date and time of Moscow's whistleblowers live broadcasting is actually 4 days later. He was arrested in his 18th floor department facing the New York City's the garden, and that's the 10th of March the 10th, 2023. I mean, March 15th, 2023, Moscow apartment was raided by FBI, and he was arrested, and he was locked in there for 3 years and 3 months. And yesterday he was sentenced. Okay, so this isn't, I think must have something to do with he directly. Okay, I'm sure he doesn't just speak nothing. Once he got the intelligence, it's proven again and again so many times. Okay, so of course, this is a matter of life and death game. So many Chinese innocent people died due to CCP released the virus, and the same as so many American people, European people around the world died as well. So this is, you're talking about the tens of millions of people. I think Moscow once he got intelligence, he will tell the world what it is. So even, tell the American intelligence and government that you really want to know the truth, just follow what's the relationship. Just have a look. I'm sure this is not too hard to find. Moscow point out very clearly locations, relationships, monies, okay, and hookups. So you just have to investigate that to prove again Moscow is absolutely right about his intelligence. So, Chris, we've got a few minutes. Is there anything else you want to say?
Oh yeah. So in the end, I would like to say that Ms. Tulsi Gabbard's declassifications prior to leaving office have validated the credibility of the intelligence released through the whistleblower movement. By making this information public through official channels, it has now been formalized in writing, recognized as intelligence, elevated to a matter of national security, and recorded as part of history. Beyond the declassification of the truth about the virus and vaccines, the wealth and assets of the CCP's 7 standing committee members are also expected to be disclosed before the end of this year. Although the CCP and those who betrayed America can temporarily weaponize the Department of Justice to prosecute Mr. Moscow, but the campaign to take down the CCP will not cease. Everyone knows that those responsible for prosecuting Mr. Moscow will ultimately be brought to justice. Thank you.
Absolutely. So everyone knows that those responsible for prosecuting Moscow will ultimately be brought to justice, and we hope this day will come very soon. So, so let's take down the CCP. Thank you for watching us. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Take down CCP.
The night has come this far, not because it chose to leave, but because it was never meant to stand. Darkness may appear powerful, yet it exists only where light has not arrived. And when the first ray of dawn emerges, its retreat becomes inevitable. This is not coincidence, not fortune, but direction itself, finally revealed. Justice never disappears. It moves forward step by step, gathering strength in silence, finding its footing in the final seconds before dawn. Today, what we welcome is not a miracle, but a morning that was always destined to arrive. In the new year, the dawn is already ahead of us.